That look and you know people have bad news to tell you. I guess they had to cut this trip short. Really, nigga? Man, if you don't get your camera... Bruh, get out of here, man. Shit.
Jasper!
That's a spear in his chest.
Move it! Get down! Get down! Wait.
Oh my god. Who? My skin. Do not show that on the screen again, please. Is it what happened to her? Oh my god, that is disgusting.
Are you ready?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. You're back with another reaction to Mad Men. I'm not even going to bore you guys with an intro. And let's jump into the reaction. And I will see you guys right after for the review.
Look at you two, heading to the track.
Where are you going?
DC, if Jonesy can find a cab. Hope you're not in a rush. 6:30? We should have done that.
We're not going to miss the train.
Where are you going? I mean, why are you going?
Arnie was invited last minute to give a keynote address.
I guess the point is somebody more important fell out.
And you must have been at least as important.
Either way, it sounds like a good excuse for a weekend in Washington.
Come Monday morning, it'll all be a dream.
Door.
Well, break a leg.
You too.
Oh, and Don, we're going to DC.
Hello, stranger.
I was hoping I'd see you.
You don't watch.
My mother and sister do.
Really? Do they hate me?
Okay. I want you to meet Jim Cutler. He's the president of CGC. This is Megan Draper. She's also a finalist.
When I started out, they didn't make copywriters like you. Good luck.
He's the head of accounts. He's like Roger with bad breath.
Knows who you are? It must be going well.
If I survive tonight, CGC has no other finalists.
I only came because it seemed important to Dawn.
We're the only finalists from SCDP, and neither of us work there anymore. I don't want to talk about this.
I should get back. I have to walk all the way down to the front.
Don Draper, this is Randall Walsh. Randy here's an insurance and he wants to come in for an official visit.
Look, man, it's not like we're not supposed to talk about business here.
I don't think we'll interrupt the proceedings wherever they are.
I just thought you two should meet.
We've already met. In fact, I'm pretty sure we've had this meeting already, too. And it went well.
So where's our check?
He's solid.
Okay, Randy. Go get back in your cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome you to the Advertising Club of New York's 4th Annual Candy Awards for Excellence in Advertising.
That can't be.
Yes, it
Who
be.
the hell said that?
If I could have your attention for a moment, please, a moment of your attention. We hope to keep this news until the end of the event. Let's take 10 minutes to talk out this terrible event, and then resume the program.
What a time to get that news.
What do you think?
Come on.
After being shot in the face by an unknown assailant on the balcony in front of a downtown hotel a short while ago. Confirmed Dr. King's death. Reverend Dr. King, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize, was 39 years old.
Oh my god, Betty looks...
Be by the set.
Ah!
Let us watch.
Freaking black hair.
You don't have to go.
Betty, they're gonna burn down the city. Everything's fine. I have to go help the mayor.
Please be careful. And call me.
What is taking so long? There are other people here who need to make calls.
They shot him in the face in Memphis.
You know who?
Come on, they didn't catch him yet, but you know who. And Jimmy says that they can get me a photographer if I can get uptown.
No, it's not a good idea. And what?
It's a huge story.
Don't do anything stupid.
Hey, it's too late. I'm going to Harlem in a tuxedo.
What are we doing? They're really still having the awards?
What else are we gonna do?
It's me.
Oh,
How are you?
not good.
I don't know why I'm so surprised. Listen, I don't want you and Tammy to be alone. I could come out and sleep there tonight if you want.
No, I will be fine.
Is she all right?
She doesn't know what's going on.
I'll see you on Saturday.
No, I'll just tell my parents you couldn't get out of the city.
Trudy,
What?
I don't want you to be worried.
Je suis pas d'accord avec toi, papa. Je suis pas d'accord avec toi. Je sais pas pourquoi tu dirais ça en ce moment. He said he applauded the escalation of decay. That Marxist bullshit.
So far, it's only looting in Harlem.
Well, it's raining. Do you think your secretary's okay?
Sylvia and Arnold are in D.C.
My father just hides behind his intellect. He doesn't want to feel any emotions.
Those were crazy times, man.
Man knew how to talk. I don't know why, but I thought that would save him. I thought it would solve the whole thing. I don't know if he just wants to hold hands with my insurance friend from last night. He called. He wants to come in at 3.
Oh, you're here. I'm sorry there's no reception out there. No, I didn't expect you to come in.
We went out to my aunt's in Newark.
Why would you do that?
My mother wanted to be with her sister.
Abe said it could have been a lot worse.
I knew it was going to happen. He knew it was going to happen. But it's not going to stop anything. And these fools running in the streets, it's exactly what he didn't want.
In fact, none of us should be working.
Thank you.
Is this really what happened?
They got it right. Except that it was terrifying. Walking into that angry, crazy crowd and Lindsay smiling like he was going to a pancake breakfast. The only lives His Honor seemed worried about protecting were the photographers. I'll tell you what worked. Cutting deals with all the militants last year. And I gotta go back in.
I just thought working might take my mind off things.
Good luck. Been on the phone all morning. They're worried about tonight. They're worried about the weekend.
Who?
The clients. They won't make goods. They want money back. I don't know. It's enough of this crap already. All these special broadcasts preempting the primetime schedule. You know they might cancel the Stanley Cup?
How dare you? This cannot be made good. It's shameful.
It's a shameful, shameful day! You don't think I'm upset about that man being shot?
Only because it's costing you, you pig.
It's costing all of us. No one will be happy till they turn the most beautiful city in the world into a shithole.
Gentlemen, stop it.
Did you know we were in the presence of a bona fide racist?
That's the latest thing, isn't it? Everybody's a racist!
Gentlemen, I urge you to shake hands in the spirit of erasing these remarks.
That's funny.
I suppose that my comments were inappropriate. I mistook this for a work day.
I'm sure you can make your money back on some movie of the week next fall about the death of a great man.
That is not what I meant.
Let me put this in terms you'll understand. That man had a wife and 4 children.
It's tough.
Glad you're okay. Joan was trying to reach you.
The phone was out for a little bit last night, and, well, it took some time to get here.
I don't think you should work today.
Couldn't reach you. I assumed you weren't coming in.
My mother told me I should.
Well, Mr. Cooper just announced that out of respect, we're going to close the office early. Mr. Sterling still wants to have the 3 o'clock meeting.
Well, are we closed or not?
If you're gonna stay, I'll stay.
No, you go.
I'd really rather be here today.
Okay.
Freaking. What are you doing, Joe?
We're all so sorry.
See, the thing about it is this, right? Like I'm watching this and it's sad. I mean, it's a sad moment, don't get me wrong. But this is the thing about when white people overcorrect or they feel responsible. You get what I'm saying? That I naturally don't get. I don't get it. Yes, it was a white man that shot Martin Luther King, but it's not a damning thing for every white person. If a black person kills a white person, like, I'm not sitting here and be like, man, sorry he did that. Like, the responsibility is not on the entire race to hold themselves responsible is what I'm looking for there, for these things. And I know it's kind of like this, right? Where the climate that we live in today, which is like, oh, you know, white people are this or white people are that, and their response. That's the narrative among the majority of black communities, is that there's oppression still, and there's all these different things, and then you have white people will apologize. They literally apologize for being white, and I'm just like, that is weird. The line has to be drawn to help white people to understand that that was generations ago. Like, I'm not gonna sit down and hold a white person accountable for those things that happened so long ago, right? And of course, it's kind of awkward. I get it. Back in the day, it must have been really awkward because you don't know really what to do. Because if you're not a person who's racist, right? If you're not a racist person back then as a white person, right? If you're not racist, you don't know really how to act. You don't know how to act because, especially if you've worked with black people, you really don't know what to do in that situation. Like, that was such an awkward hug that, Joan tried to hug her. Why are you hugging me? You know what I'm saying? It's weird, and that's what I'm saying. And you get those awkward moments because they don't know what to do. When things are racially motivated, a lot of the trickle effect is always so interesting to me because people just jump on these bandwagons and say, oh, it was racist. It's crazy how the dynamics shift in those situations. Because when you look at it from one point of view, you're like, man, people are gonna riot in the streets for this, and this is, as you can see, and the thing about it is, like, just like how black people was doing all this stuff, rioting, setting the city on fire and all that stuff. It's the same shit they did for George Floyd, protesting in the street, rioting, doing all this different stuff. And it's like, how does this solve the issue? Does lashing out like this make people look at you differently? I don't understand this. Like, you're playing into all the stereotypes, all the things that they say about black people. You're just playing into it. And then when somebody looks at you that is white and say, you're not good for society, we get mad, right? We get mad about it. We get mad about it. If somebody says that you are a certain way, and then you act that very way, how can you dispute the fact that they're saying that you're not good for society? How can you despite that? How can you go against that? And this is what I'm saying. When you perpetuate the same behavior that people say that you are, right, and you're not different from that, right, how can you dispute that fact? In my experience, the majority of white people that I've come across and did business with and do all of these different things with and friends and all of this other stuff, the things that I heard about white people from the black community, they don't perpetuate any of that. They don't perpetuate. Some of it is true. Some of it is true, but it's very mild stuff, right? It's very mild stuff, right? Okay, white people love guns. I mean, yeah, they like to keep them and buy them, but that's their right. There's a lot of things where when you hear in the black community that white people are inherently racist, you're like, so should I just hate an entire race? You're doing the same fucking thing. It's just crazy to me how we go about our lives, and black people also just love to play the victim when you're doing the very thing that these people are afraid of you doing, right? When anything goes wrong. Look, I'll give you guys another example as I'm sitting here. The biggest streamer in the world just caused a pandemonium in New York City by doing a giveaway. This dude has millions on top of millions of followers, both on Twitch and YouTube. You're gonna do a giveaway, and you're trying to tell me that nobody on your team, your management, all this money that you're making didn't say, yo, we can't just do a giveaway in the middle of a park in New York City. Too many people are going to show up. It's gonna cause foolishness to happen. Look into the future. That's something that you can guess that's going to happen. And then I'm not saying that this is even Kai's fault, because let's just say he didn't expect that many people to show up. I'm talking about thousands of people showed up for this giveaway, right? But the subsequent things that happen because of it, people are jumping on, people's cars, dancing on people's cars, smashing people's windows, robbing vendors that are on the streets, all this other stuff. When people see that, when they see black kids and black young men and black young women and a few white kids out there Because it was a sea of black people. It was a sea of black people. You see the occasional white person there when you're looking at the videos, right? But when that happens, and then the videos come out and all the bad things that you're seeing is just black people doing it. How can we look at that and say that this is good for society? How can we look at that and say, when you perpetuate the same behavior that they say that you do? Come on, man. You know, I hate to stop in the middle of the video and talk about you know, race stuff, but that's what this episode is about either way. But it's like, we, you know, black people got to stop playing the victim, man. They really do. They got to stop playing the victim. That's why I mean, something like this happens. A man died, and your resort is to burn the city down. You know, hurt innocent people. And I'm not saying all black people were doing this. I'm just saying, I can imagine. It's like, oh, let's go take out our anger on all the local stores and the local community that we live in. Great.
Randall Walsh, you remember Don? This is Stan Rizzo and Michael Ginsberg.
Okay. I guess he's
was trying to communicate without words, but it's not working.
Randy, it never works. Randall has an idea, and the ad director won't take a chance.
You're in the property insurance business. I bet you're about to get hit pretty hard.
Forget about that. This is about a no bullshit approach to why I got into this business. People say they care. I really care.
Okay, why is this such an awkward...
We're waiting for you, Randall.
When I close my eyes, is our name and a Molotov cocktail being lit with a match, and then a coupon at the bottom.
The ad sales guy didn't like that?
I know what it looks like. Fear-mongering. But this is the opposite. I was visited by the spirit of Dr. King last night.
Dude, it's crazy. Get him the hell out of my office, bro.
No, I think it was, is, and will always be in poor taste.
But there is a tier, and in that tier are all the tears in the world.
Okay.
You're right. I don't want to think about it.
It's despite what we believe to be good intentions. You're allowing the emotions of the day and to influence your judgment.
Are you forgetting what Tecumseh said?
Who the hell is Tecumseh?
This is an opportunity.
No, it's
the
not.
Heavens are telling us to change.
Okay. All right, bro.
He was very emotional. He talked me off a roof once.
Just want to go home.
Someone's gonna do that idea, you know.
Not us.
We have to react differently when things happen. You know what I'm saying? We just have to.
Hello.
I knew you would forget.
You really want them down here?
I know you don't. You don't even know how strange they're acting.
The news is very upsetting. You want me to come up there and get them? Drive right through everything after dark. Oh, Henry would know.
I guarantee you'd go to Canada on your knees to pick up your girlfriend.
I don't believe this. Going to get the kids.
Really?
Called in the troops in Washington, but Henry says we're fine here.
He's a piece of work.
Someone else got the apartment.
That's it?
What do you want me to say?
Do you give a damn?
Peggy, this is an emotional story.
You're having the time of your life.
Why are you so mad?
Because I'm alone in this.
That's not cool.
I don't mean financially. Don't you care where we live?
I don't feel right expressing an opinion.
Now is your chance.
I don't want to live on the Upper East Side.
Fine. Why?
I don't know. I saw us raising our kids in a place with more different kinds of people. The photographer trailing me the other night.
Isn't it dangerous?
No, it's more run down. That's why it's so cheap. To get some lumber, a coat of paint, people are doing it.
Hate idiots. I despise people like this. And this is what I was talking about earlier. We are talking about white people overcorrecting. You get what I'm saying? You're overcorrecting the situation. It's like, oh, now you gotta live amongst you gotta go live amongst black people to show them that you're down with the cause. It's the most ridiculous thing, bro. It's like, oh, I don't want to live, bro. I don't want to live somewhere safe. Okay, I don't want to live somewhere safe. Even though nowhere is completely safe for you to live, because you can still get robbed anywhere, right? You can still get robbed no matter where you are in this country. You can still get robbed. It's just that when you're in a safer communities and stuff like that, you're less likely for something to happen. It's less likely, but it can still happen. right? So you want to be in a more in a safer neighborhood, right? You know, crazy things have happened where I lived before. Crazy things. Like this dude feeling is like feeling guilty because you want to live somewhere better. All the black people, well, I don't want to say all the black people because some of them is quite fine where they are and they don't want to move. But if you give them the opportunity to go live somewhere else that's safer, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, for the most part, I think they would take the opportunity. Why fight so hard to get out of the ghetto, if you will, to stay in the ghetto? It doesn't make any sense.
I didn't know you felt that way.
I just felt it wasn't my money. How much of a say do I have?
You're in my life. You're a part of my life.
I was looking for you. You left the TV on.
I don't feel right turning it off.
He doesn't even want me to come in. Everything's settled down. And I think this is the end of it. Betty, I hope you know you'll never have to worry about money.
Why would you bring that up?
Nothing. I just keep asking myself, what am I doing?
About what?
I keep thinking about walking through Harlem. Lindsay, a few paces ahead, grinning like he always does.
Wasn't that frightening?
It was exhilarating. But what was the cost of avoiding that riot? Disrespect for authority. Negotiating with hoodlums.
He's never been more popular.
It's just, Betty, I keep thinking I would do it differently. I want to do it differently. Well, they approached me like they always do when somebody dies, and they offered me a seat in the state senate.
Do you want to run?
Run. It's a Republican seat. It's basically unopposed.
You'd have to quit the mayor's office.
They'll understand.
I feel like I've been asking you to do this since I met you.
The stepping stone to state attorney general, and
And who knows what else?
the easy partner.
This is what I've wanted for you.
I can't wait for people to meet you. You know? Really meet you.
This might end up being a problem, but let's see how it goes.
I felt better, but now I don't.
Why?
Because who knows what you're feeling? I didn't know what to say to her, except I'd tell you to ask your father, but he's at the movies. I should have said he's just drunk.
You're better with him. You don't understand.
I do. You don't have marks, you've got a bottle. Is this what you really want to be to them? When they need you?
I only ever wanted to be the man who loves children. But from the moment they're born, that baby comes out and you act proud and excited, hand out cigars, but you don't feel anything. Especially if you had a difficult childhood. You want to love them, but you don't. And the fact that you're faking that feeling, you wonder if your own father had the same problem. And one day they get older, and you see them do something, and you feel that feeling that you were pretending to have. And it feels like your heart is going to explode.
Hey, that's real right there. That's real.
So why can't you sleep?
I'm scared.
Don't make me sorry for taking you to the movies.
I just keep thinking, what if somebody shoots Henry?
No one's gonna do that.
But they could.
But they won't. Henry's not that important.
Not yet, he's not. Alright, so Mad Men Season 6, Episode 5, I think this is. This is one of those shows, right? This is one of those shows that I've talked extensively about how I feel about Mad Men and what it deals with, and the just the overall concept of it all is great. I can understand why, you know, when this was going on, people loved it so much. It brings up a lot of issues, talks about a lot of issues, not even explicitly, but show us a different perspective, right? Especially with the Martin Luther King. Like, I've always had the perspective of how black people dealt with that situation, right? Just overall, I feel light beaming on the side of my head, if you guys can see that. It's coming in through the window. This is, it's one of those things where I've always heard the perspective of how black people felt in that moment when they heard, like, you know, my mom was, you know, she was little, right, when it happened, you know, and coming to America and hearing people give, you know, older people that was there, giving their accounts of, you know, where they were, how they felt about it, you know, talking about the riots and all of these different things that happened when Martin Luther King got killed. Right now, these are all people that we've heard about, that coming up in class in Jamaica, this is history that we know about, right? And the crazy thing about it is that I never truly understood what racism was. Like, you understand what it is, like the meaning of the word and everything, but I never truly understand how it affected American culture until I got here. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you grow up, you're watching cable TV, you see black people on TV, you see all of these different things that black people are doing to rich black people, right? So you're like, okay, racism is not that big a deal anymore. You get what I'm saying? And I'm saying that very facetiously, so don't come at me. Okay, don't come at me, right? Because racism is, if it's being practiced by anyone, it's a big deal, right? So when I came to America and I saw how it is, and I've been a victim of it as well, right? I've, you know, white people have shown racism towards me, you know. But the difference in how I handle it versus how I see other black people handling it comes off a little weird to me. It comes off a little weird to me, and that's the reason why I sit here all the time and I tell black people to stop acting like victims. It's stop being such victims, man. Because at the end of the day, you know, there are other issues that needs to be dealt with that people don't really talk about, right? They don't talk about the fact that, you know what I'm saying, we kill our own more than anything else, right? More than any other race that kills black people, we do it the most, right? Now you can chalk it up to all different types of things and make all different type of excuses as to why this is happening, but it's not going to change the fact that it does happen, and that's the truth of it. So when a white man kills a black man, it's magnified to the 1000th degree, right? For some reason, and over the years, I've come to notice that the media tries to push this a lot. They really do. They try to push it so much, especially liberal media. Really try to push this narrative forward. You know what I'm saying? I hate to describe killings as some regular stuff, because nothing about it is regular, but in comparison, that we should take all murders serious, right? They don't show that stuff. If you look at media today and how it's being presented to you, you really have to wonder if it's just a bunch of propaganda. You really do have to see it for yourself. And we can't even depend on mainstream media anymore to be truthful to us. It's all pushing some agenda from somewhere, right, always bias in some way. So when I see the difference in how these people act versus how those people act, and I weigh the difference, right, and I'm talking about black and white here, it's tough not to look at these people, look at your own people and say, we're not acting right. We're not doing it the right way. Now, I'm not a person who's gonna go out there and protest and act a fool, robbing stores, rioting. We have the right to protest peacefully, but unfortunately, that's not always the case, right? Martin Luther King died, and instead of practicing what he was practicing, protesting peacefully, they decided to burn everything down, right? Rioting, people getting arrested, you know. And back then, racism was way stronger. Amongst the tension between blacks and whites was way stronger back then. Nowadays, you have a few incidents here and there. You know what I'm saying? Here and there, a few incidents. You know what I mean? I don't think racism is ever going to go away, whether from you know, overall, just as a thing that happens. It's never going to go away. There's always going to be one person that hates some people because of their skin color or just prejudice in that in general. It's always going to be there, right? In strong, like, I'm watching Gomorrah right now, and I'm saying I didn't know that even in a day and age like today, modern times like this, that I would think that Italians was so, like, you know what I'm saying, racist towards black people in their country. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's gonna be there. It's not gonna go away. I'm not saying that we shouldn't fight against it, but our response to those things has gotta be smarter. It's gotta be different. It can't be we're destroying cities because that's what they think of us. That is what they think of us. That is what they think of us. Those are the things that they say. That's the reason why white people cross the street when they see you. Because we perpetuate the same behavior that they think we have. So if that doesn't change, if the majority of people don't change the way how we respond to this racism, right? If we don't change that, if we don't change our response to how these things go, or getting on social media and getting all mad and talking about all white people are bad and all this other stuff, if we don't change our behavior, how do we really expect them to have a different perspective about us? One for one. Real talk. Right? It's not if white people are teaching their kids, hey, you see a black person coming up the street, cross the street, because you don't know what they up to. Right? Of course, it's not it's like they're teaching their kids to be racist, but kindly you, right? But I would also say that if we keep doing the same things, how do we expect them to think differently of us? They shouldn't be thinking like that in the first place, but we got to change our behavior. We got to, on a massive scale. You know what I'm saying? As an individual, make better decisions. I'm not saying that we're bad in any ways, but the way how we respond to things is so different from pretty much every other race, especially in America. I don't know, maybe it's just in our genes to do these things, but at the end of the day, if on a massive scale, every time something happens that's racially motivated, we take to the streets and we riot and we burn buildings down and we rob people and we do all of these things, then we're wondering why they don't like us, right? I know I might come off like, oh, I hate my own kind and I'm internalizing, internalizing racism. Like I hate myself and I hate my skin. I love being black, okay? I love being black, okay? But you know what I don't do? I don't act dumb. That's the thing. I carefully think out what I'm supposed to do and how I'm supposed to react. And yes, it's not all the time, but I exercise self-control, which I believe I can understand why we get angry when these things happen that are racially motivated. I understand. Trust me, I don't want to be hated. I don't want people to hate me just because I like fried chicken. Like, that's insane. Right? That's insane. It happens. Right? I don't want anybody to not like me because of the color of my skin, but I can't change that. Unless I'm gonna bleach myself, which is just a terrible way to do things, right? That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I find it that less and less we can't take everything that people notice about us as well. Like, we can't take everything that people notice about us as a culture. And sometimes when people want to ingratiate themselves into our culture of what it means to be black, and even I don't know what it means to be an African American or whatever, right? I don't really know. I've been here now for almost 20 years, right, in America. And I have to say, if a white person says, hey man, I noticed that black people like grape soda, how can I get offended by that? It's true. A majority of us like grape soda and fried chicken, watermelon. It's the culture. So if they notice these things, why is it that they can't say these things? It's weird to me. You know, I won't even get into the whole N-word debate. Because, listen, man, I've been called the N-word with the hard ER, bruh, by a white person. Did I get upset? I just walked away from them. They can't do anything. They're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Majority of these people are not gonna pull out guns. They're just trying to hurt you. Just walk away. They are who they are. They are who they are, and they know themselves. They know that they're being racist. They don't care. They don't care. So our response gotta be different. So when I watch a show like this that enlightens these things, it brings to mind these things because you see how they respond to it. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of white people that were sympathetic towards what Martin Luther King was trying to accomplish, right? Which shouldn't even have been a thing in the first place, right? Because we look at that and we be like, why are we fighting for civil rights? That should have been automatic. But hey, the man did what he had to do. And I'm glad that he did it. But as I said, even today, in today's day and age, we gotta be different. We have to respond to these things differently. You know what I'm saying? And as I said, I absolutely hate when white people are uncomfortable around me. I can't stand it. And it's not because they're racist, it's just that they can't sympathize, and it's very awkward for them to interact with you because your existence kind of makes it so. And you gotta help them to understand that it's okay. I'm just a regular person. I absolutely hate it. I don't like when white people are around me and they're comfortable. I try to make them feel a lot more comfortable around me from the get-go, so that they understand that I'm not one of those black people who automatically thinks that all white people are racist. I'm not one of those people. I think that is a ridiculous notion to have in the first place. And that makes you worse than the people who are actually racist. But that's just me. Anyways, guys, that is all I have to say. You might agree, you might disagree. Either way, I know there's gonna be at least one black person that's gonna be like, you don't understand, man. You don't get it. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not trying to get it. Change. Simple as that. I'm not trying to get it. I see what the majority does when these things happen. I see it on the news. How they respond to these things when they happen. When they have just an inkling that it might be racially motivated. We just fly off the handle and get mad and just ingratiate ourselves. We just automatically, as a black person, want to be a Democrat. Even stuff like that just, you know what? Not going to get into that argument. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all. Leave a like, leave a comment. Great episode. Could talk about a lot more, but I think that was the standout thing in this episode I wanted to touch on and let you guys know my stance on it, because we could have a deeper conversation about this, but I would be here all day. I'll see you guys later. Peace.